So I headed out here this morning to go to the city to buy that double door cabinet that matches the toolbox, workbench, and all that I bought over there in the upper cabinets. And man, was the weather bad. It turned out to be a really horrible day. So first of all, I'm going to show you the footage of me trying to get from this house here at the beach over to our new property, which has roads and streets and access and all, but there's no roads to this property here, and the only access that we have is that beach, which used to be a really big broad beach, but it's not anymore. So let's start out with that, and then I'm going to follow on up from there with some video that Melinda shot while I was in the city today. And man, did I get swamped. I mean, it was bad. And then from there, we're gonna close this out with some happening news right now, and we'll go from there. So let's start out with me trying to get from this house to the new property over there to where I can get to my truck, roads and streets. We'll start right there. Nice wet clothes. So here we are. This is the way it is. That's why I've embedded all this concrete around these trees, trying to save my trees. I backfilled all of these with clay and stone. That clay don't wash away fast like that sand does. And all the way across here to across that ramp under this sand, I also embedded it with that broken concrete like this. All the way around these trees underneath there, 2 foot, 3 foot down, this concrete. All the way across here. The family laughed, "Oh, your concrete is all gone. It's all gone." No, it did its job. It broke those waves. It makes them drop the sand. It covered the sand back over it. And it's all good. Same thing here. I put concrete down under, going way out there. And this is why I have a better, higher beach here than they do. And if I'll come back and put now another layer of concrete across there, these waves will come up, break, drop the sand, build it higher again. And that concrete broke up from the highway projects. I pick it up so cheap, super cheap. It's a matter of a few dollars. Part of the reason why we are moving. All right, so you saw that. You may start slowly getting the picture of why that we're leaving out of here then, right? You're getting it. Well, we'll explain it in more detail another time, even more factors behind that. All right, so now on to showing you the footage of the way that it looked today with Melinda and them here, and the waves coming all the way up here and hitting the end of the house. And this isn't even as bad as it gets. So now let me show you that.
Oh my God. Wow. This is my brother's house. Grabe. Gabako, grabe bla. Surf to. Surf po hindi, ano eh, sulog eh. Grabe kirin.
Alright, so yeah, that's not even the roughest. That's not even a typhoon. This is just a low pressure area that may form into a tropical depression. So, you know, that's not even the blunt of it. We're just catching winds off a trying to form tropical depression. So that's pretty scary, and that's one of the reasons that we want to get that place built and even get that garage door. If we need to evacuate our things out of here, we can get them over there and get them secured. So now to the final news of the day. It's rough. I had wanted to take the ferry across to the neighboring large island, Negros, and see my son this weekend. And man, I knew better. I know about how these waters get when it turns stormy. Through the years, I've seen these big old ferries, huge ship-like ferries, capsize out there. There is some waves that have come up literally like a wall out there on that huge open water. And I've seen it again. They'll have these things overloaded, and not only with people but with cargo, and you know, a wave broadside that thing, and there you go. So I avoid that. Now they do have the fast catamaran style that can handle rougher water than a monohull, but I'm not going to risk it, man. I mean, it's just not worth it to do that. Then you got the smaller ferries that go across to like the small neighboring island to us right here at GUIMARAS, at the ILOILO GUIMARAS Strait. There's large ships pass through there. That's a very deep channel. It's not really wide across, but it's deep, and there is a force of wind and water that pushes those waves up, compresses it, kind of like a stream between these two islands right there, and it can kick up some pretty turbulent water and waves where that comes in there, where that ILOILO GUIMARAS Strait comes in off the Sulu Sea here and compresses up, as I just said, between ILOILO and the island of GUIMARAS. It's been known again for these little small banca style, pump boat style ferries. I mean, when I say small, they're still pretty large, but they're native built, usually wooden built, with the outriggers, you know, the like pontoons out to the sides. And man, people just shouldn't even be showing up to get on those, first of all. So I know people are gonna beat up the operator and they're gonna beat up the government, but I'm gonna tell you what, they need to beat up the individuals too, the ones that got on there and took children on there, because you lived here long enough. You know the risk when you go across that water, and you know it's dangerous, and you know there's nothing but year after year after year of stories of those things flipping and the lives that have been lost. And yet here you go. It's so important. Whatever task you have at hand at the time, you feel like it's the end of the world and I got to get across over there to the other side. I know maybe you're going to be stranded in the city over here and you just want to get to your home where you have a place to stay. You probably shouldn't have been over here to start with, knowing the weather forecast. And there's just nothing worth your life that you need to get across that water. It's nothing worth your life that you need to get across there. But the people make the choice to do it, and the boat operators also make the choice to operate, and the government does not shut them down in time sometimes. And you know, because people are trying to commute, you know, and the people's voices get loud. They want to get home to either side. They get on those, well, the direction it has to go across the channel is going to be where a wave is going to broadside it. It's just the way it is. It's not that wide of a channel, but there's waves that will broadside that, and it will capsize that. And it happens, and it happens again. And here's the really sad part. The government did crack down, and they have to have life jackets, right? And they're hanging there. I mean, I get on there, I see them, they're there now. It used to not even be life jackets. Excuse me. And, but people get so complacent, they don't put them on. Like us in the U.S., we're pretty big about putting on our life jackets. You know, we go boating and all that, and it gets rough. We get them out, we put them on, you know. But here, man, they just like, you know, I can swim. And, or I'll just grab it last minute. But man, these things happen in a panic, and maybe you can't get to it in time, or sometimes it's the cool factor. You don't want to be the odd man out sitting on that boat wearing this big orange life vest and nobody else is, and they're laughing at you. Ha ha ha, look at you wearing that. Why are you wearing that? You're wearing that because you want to stay alive. That's why you're wearing that, because things happen. That's why you're wearing that. And who gives a rat's butt what those other people on that boat think about? If they want to laugh at you, let them laugh, and let them laugh, because you're going to have a better chance of survival than them when these kind of things happen. And the sad news is today, it happened. And the death toll is still going up. At first I heard 3, and then it went to 5, and then it went to 9, and then it went to 11. And the last one I read just now is saying 13, and they're still searching for more bodies. And that is the reality of it all. And Red Cross is getting involved in it, and they're still out doing searches. I had a story pulled up here, and I don't know, maybe the computer refreshed and changed it. Manila Times, here we go. Manila Times, it did refresh, and let me pull this up here. Manila Times says just 32 minutes ago, 13 are out from this world as 3 boats capsized. 3 boats. At first I heard there was 2 boats. Now I hear that there's 3 boats capsized along the ILOILO Guimaras Strait. 13 people are, and I don't want to use that word on video, with their Heavenly Father. After 3 boats capsized along the ILOILO Guimaras Strait due to bad weather on Saturday, the state-run disaster agency said. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said that of the 43 passengers of Chi-Chi, that's the name of the boat, 24 survived. The second boat, how would you say this, Kiza, had no passengers and all of its crew survived. So luckily it was empty. It turned, the crew was on there and the crew survived. A third boat, Jean, suffered a similar fate with 30 passengers on board, but the NDRRMC was verifying as to how many have been rescued. So this is an ongoing effort and it's turned dark now. That is sad. The Coast Guard District Western Visayas reported an ongoing search and rescue operations as of posting time. The Iloilo City Mayor, Jerry, what do you say that? Trinez and the Guimaras governor ordered the cancellation of all boat trips between Iloilo and Guimaras. Philippine Coast Guard spokesman quoted on an agency France Press earlier Saturday saying that 13 people were missing and 31 other passengers and crew have been plucked out of the water. He said these accidents happened almost at the same time. The winds and the waves suddenly become strong. The seasonal southwest monsoons have churned up the seas on the western section of the Philippines over the past week. You heard that right there. There's the key words right there. It churned them up over the past week. I've been following the weather. I've been able to pull it up, and I can see that it was dangerous. But people here will push on, and this is the result. The people that went to their Heavenly Father include 6 women, but their identities have not been established. So, I hate to bring on the bad news, but it is a reality. It is a reality, and some of these things can be avoided. All I can tell you, if anybody out there watches this, be smart. Think next time. Think before you enter on there with your child, your elder, your loved one, and even yourself. Think, is it really that important that I get home right now?